It's time to duel!
For those of you who don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, it's a Japanese card game that revolves around strategic dueling, where two players face off using custom decks, with the goal of reducing each other's life points from 8,000 to 0. Each player builds a deck usually around 40 to 60 cards, using a mix of monster cards used to attack and defend, with some of them having effects. Spell cards has a single effect, provide a bonus for the user or a weakness to the opponent. Trap cards that have hidden tricks to trap your opponent. There's way more complexity, but that's for later. And it also has a bunch of manga and anime series too. How I got introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was visiting my cousin one day, he was watching this show called Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't get the channel that aired anime, so I couldn't know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or anime before. As a kid who grew up watching Disney and Nickelodeon, this thing was next level. Monsters were obliterating each other. People were yelling like their souls were on the line. And there was this dude with a magical pyramid necklace, having full-on bipolar issues. One moment he's a high schooler, the next an ancient pharaoh. A rich guy beating up someone's grandpa. Delusions about cards having a heart. Let me tell you, this thing was wild. And just when I thought it couldn't get any cooler, my cousin pulls out his own cards, and it's just amazing. The artwork, the card effects, the layout, the back, it's just beautiful. So he teaches me how to play. You have 5 monster zones, in which you can place a monster vertically for attack and horizontally for defense. And you can also put a monster set card face down. It's like a card on defense, but your opponent doesn't know what defense your monster has. Each player draws 7 cards at the beginning of the game. You can't summon monsters with more than 4 levels, without the tribute of 2 monsters. Traps and spells go below the monsters, and everything that dies goes to the graveyard. We didn't really play strictly by these rules, even though they were wrong. But for a bunch of kids, they were more than enough. Me and my cousin would always duel, and he would always win. So in order to achieve victory, I had to acquire my own cards. But no one was selling them in my city. Even the store where my cousin bought his didn't have any. They only had Pokemon. So I bought some as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Alternative and played with my cousin. Now if you know anything about Pokemon, it's that it sucks as a card game. The show is good, the video games are great, Pikachu is cute, but the card game, it just sucks. Like, look at the card design. What is that? HP and 2 attacks. What even is that? It's safe to say we did not know how to play. But my cousin won using the power of deceit and being the older, smarter person. But it was fine since he gave me some of his Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Although none did not realize at the time that simple, deceitful action would prevent him from becoming a Pokemon loser who would stand in lines at 6 a.m. to buy some Pokemon cards and commit all sorts of unholy works like buying weighted Pokemon cards. For some context, people weigh Pokemon cards, and if it weighs more than usual, that means it contains a valuable card, because they weigh more than regular cards. Eventually, the channel that streamed anime finally made it to my area, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Started to gain popularity. Suddenly, everyone had cards. As I found out, my local shops started selling Yu-Gi-Oh! I was ready to finally build a real deck, but then my mom took a closer look at my cards, and it's safe to say she was not impressed. Unlike Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had dark, creepy looking monsters. She was convinced these cards would turn me into a thug. But then, an unlikely supporter came to my aid. My sister. How and why did that happen? Well, my sister didn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! But her crush did. So, now with the 2 of us wanting Yu-Gi-Oh! Our parents couldn't refuse. So we get a lot of cards. And we get some pretty strong monsters. And very cool pulls. Like the monster with the question mark as an attack. Which I had to consult the Yu-Gi-Oh expert on what that meant. So you pull the monster with the question mark. It means you can set its attack to be as low as 0. Or as big as infinity. And he drops a piece of lore. You know, I had one of those. I was unbeatable. When they heard my name, everyone shook in fear. But then, one day, as I defeated the cowardly opponent before me, you simply cannot beat me. Oh, I know how to defeat you. Bro, if that was me, you're not getting away with it. What are you gonna do about it?
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9. It's just a joke. Come on. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
In a nutshell, the higher the attack, the better. Most attack equals the best. It's a lot more complicated, but for this story, keep that kind of logic in mind. So, back to my sister. She shows the Yu-Gi-Oh cards to her crush, and they trade. And when I tell you that the trade was cooked, he just straight up scammed her. So this is how it went down according to my sister. You wanna trade? This card is strong. Do I tell her or should I just leave her in the dark? Well, at the end of the day, I got my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And my sister lost interest in 2 weeks. So she gave me her cards. So it doesn't really matter. And honestly, this is where I peaked in school overall. Yeah, I did peak in elementary school. Leave me alone. And it was because I had what others didn't. An older cousin that knew a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! And the fact that I owned a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Including one of the God cards. Which is one of the most popular cards out there. Which made me kind of popular. Just a little bit. I know it's really bad to put a video with multiple parts. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been a really big part of my life. And I can't really summarize it all in one video. So please, accept my humble apology. Also, I got a new mic. I used to record on this cheap Chinese phone. And at one point, I sprayed alcohol straight into the mic. Because it was dirty. Which, yeah, didn't fix anything, but probably make it worse. And then, one of the 5 comments on my short was like, someone get Bro a better mic. So I waited. Day and night. For someone. Anyone. To get me a mic. But no one did. That's where I knew something had to be done. So I dropped $50 and got one myself. So yeah, what? Hopefully it sounds better if anyone's watching. Yeah.